Yo, shalom.
Shalom, yo.
Yo, this is the Black Narrative. I'm Black Ice.
And I'm Keys.
Thanks for joining us here tonight. Hope everybody doing well. Had a good weekend.
Yeah, man. Good. One heck of a weekend it was.
I know, right? For real, man. And
let's get back into the week and see what this week has to offer for us.
Yeah, let's go. I want to cover a couple of headlines first before we get into tonight's topic. I said the topic just came today actually, because like I said, we had another show planned.
Right.
And I came across the interview with Roland Martin. And shalom to everybody in the chat.
Shalom,
I'm glad y'all here. Shalom. I came across the interview Roland Martin in the chat with the young guy, with the young conservative.
Yeah.
And so we are gonna get into that, but I just want to cover a couple of things. I guess dealing with the politics that's going on right now.
Man, and this is just it's almost like a little scoop of news, because man, it's just been so much with Joe Biden, man.
And he was here. He was here in Atlanta Friday.
So that's when he fell?
Mm-hmm.
Man, goodness, man.
Yeah.
Atlanta will do it to you, ain't it?
Yeah, man. I made sure I stay home, man, because usually when presidents come to town, man, they take over the whole interstate, and Friday traffic's already terrible.
Oh my goodness.
So I try to stay home if I could, But yeah, it was hilarious, man. Because I saw the video, man. He tripped up about 3-4 times.
And the thing is, I mean, the steps didn't seem that steep.
The steps whooped his butt, bro.
Boy, when I tell you.
The steps, the wind.
Man, somebody made a joke like they were surprised the Secret Service didn't tackle the steps.
Somebody said somebody used a harp on Joe and sent that wind at him.
Oh, that's what that was. That's what that was. I'm talking about the wind gust just in that direction.
Oh, man. And then somebody else said Kamala got mad because she should use extra grease. and then, mind you, and then once again, he called her President Harris.
Really?
Yeah, it was a gaffe. But, I mean, this is not the first time he did that.
Man, but that's the thing. When it comes to Joe and his gaffes, it just does not stop, man.
I just feel like, man, shalom, glad you're here. Yeah, it's. I was just trying to figure out how much longer will people catch on that doing something not right with him, like mentally.
But I mean, people are running down, busting down the polls trying to get that ballot in though.
Yeah, because I tell you, man, he tripping up, he forgetting stuff. The gaps. My thing is, if 45 would did all that, they've been running through the press hard against them.
Man.
But they're not giving Joe the same energy.
If 45 were to trip up,
oh man, they were ran with that.
It would have been on SNL. It would have been 3 SNL skits. SNL would have been eaten for the next 3 months.
And rightfully so. I mean, I get that.
Right. You get
rightfully
that.
So.
But where's the jokes about Biden?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're not seeing those jokes. You're not seeing SNL having a skit about Biden falling down the stairs.
Yeah, it should go both sides. It should go with both sides. But I thought it was hilarious, man. I watched the video a couple of times. Like, bro, that win is serious.
Man.
But another thing that happened too was that the border is still the issue that they're also still avoiding. And you remember we talked about this last week.
You noticing they're letting it surmount, just grow and grow.
Well, now he sent the money down there, so he just approved $86 million, and this money gonna last for 6 months.
You kidding me?
Like remember we said last week that they had no more space in these places down the border no more.
Right.
So now they spend money on hotel rooms. So $86 million is going to go towards hotel rooms and other necessities that they need.
Now, where's that $86 million when you need to go to the black community?
and the vaccine, and they give it vaccinated for free.
Oh wow!
So to me,
I mean, the vaccination for free. I'm not surprised about that because it's experimentation anyway.
Right? Yeah, facts. Yeah, but to me, all that's saying to me is that you had no plans to send them back home after 6 months. Right. Like you doing all that, you plan on keeping them. You doing all these accommodations to keep them here.
You're slowly trying to what's that?
Well, remember, they can no longer use the word illegal alien no more.
Right.
They changed the language already, so it's almost like I know the word you're looking for, but they just try to slide it in.
It's like osmosis. You know what I mean?
Trying to normalize them being in here.
Exactly.
Or low key treat them like citizens. And then mind you, not before that, he gave Venezuelans temporary citizenship for 18 months.
And mind you, they're not at the border.
They're not at the border. They're already here.
Exactly.
And then I want to say, I forgot the number. I want to say 800,000, but it's a high number. Yeah. So
G-Mom, it's lower. It's a little lower now. It's not as bad. It's a little lower.
Yeah, so but the 86 million not just for hotel rooms, because it's funny because the liberal media, all they were doing was just fact checking the 86 million for hotel rooms, but they weren't really saying what the money is, all the money is for.
That's interesting because so basically it's one of those things where it's a wordplay.
They're playing basically they're saying switch the narrative.
It's 86 million, but the 86 million isn't just for hotel rooms, so it's wrong. So it makes it seem like the whole statement of him giving that 86 million is wrong.
Here's a key thing right here. Tay Johnson, the acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE), said the agency signed a short-term $86.9 million contract with Endeavors to provide temporary shelter and processing services for migrant families.
Processing services.
Yep. And then the contract provides 1,239 beds and other necessary services. So that's another key word that's very broad, kind of vague with it.
Services.
But I know part of that, I can't find another article that I read, but it does include the vaccines and other things. And then remember we found another article where they get a lawyer, they get a therapist and some other things too. So I guess all that can go under necessary services.
It's interesting because of course we all know that healthcare isn't free in this country, but when it comes to them coming over, because therapists and basically mental health, that's a healthcare. That's a specialized healthcare. Matter of fact, that's not even
regular healthcare.
Right.
They're not urgent care.
We can't get free urgent care.
Yeah.
But they're getting free.
They get a therapist.
Right. and just by coming over the border.
Yeah.
So you see, man, they have all this money to dish out when they want to dish out money.
Yeah. But they got it. They got it, man.
But for us, we always have to cast in a ballot.
Yeah.
It's always, you cast in a ballot, you keep casting in a ballot. 100 years go by, just cast in a bigger ballot.
Yeah.
Just press down harder when you write the name.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I came across another article. I've got the guy's name, but he was working in immigration under the Trump administration.
Yeah.
And he was speaking about how, after Biden won the election, they had the whole transition thing going on.
Right.
So they had a whole bunch of transition meetings. And he said in the meetings, we told him, if you move all these stuff that Trump put in power, he basically saying, he tried to tell Joe that there's a cause and effect to everything you do.
Right.
So it's okay, so you take away Trump's this, well, how you going to counter that? With your other plan,
because you got to balance it out,
right?
Because and so it's one of those things where if you have some already in place, then you already have a system that's working. So if you're gonna take that system away, what are you gonna do to mediate that?
Yeah, we're gonna replace it with And basically, he was saying that they took the system away, but they ain't put nothing really in place to
You kidding me?
All right, so now you got all these people here, and then I found I hope I can find. I wish I should take that picture, but it was a picture of a whole bunch of immigrants at the border saying, Biden let us in. And it was all at the border.
You kidding me?
And and I know it's kind of weird.
Wait. Was it in English?
Yeah, it was in English.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. And the first thing crossed my mind was, who bought all these damn shirts? Who made all these shirts?
and who shipped them to Mexico? Who shipped them to Mexico?
Where they come from? Yep, there you go. I found it, y'all.
You're kidding me.
Look at this. Yeah. Look at that, man. So the first thing caught my mind, hey, who out there handing out T-shirts on the border?
Man, that's not just.
No, you didn't pick this up on the side of the road on the way to the border.
Their abuelita didn't sew that over in Mexico.
I mean, that is me. That's the first thing came to my mind.
And the thing about it, how much of them even know what it says on the shirt? Not to be rude, but we're you can't tell me this isn't orchestrated.
Somebody hand out shirts, bro. So my thing is okay, the press, you're saying the press secretary said, hey, nobody don't want them to come here. We told people not to come here, but to me it's showing a mixed message. Then who print out these T-shirts and hand them out to the immigrants?
Right, especially given the fact that the press is having trouble even getting to these areas.
Right, and then like I said, some people may say, one guy asked me well, how does this whole thing relate to us? And the black guy asked me that, and he didn't get it. But I'm like, look, bro, you're either gonna get replaced by automation or by the immigrant. It's gonna be one or the other at this point.
Man, they're finding multiple, and that's job
Well,
wise.
they just have to plan anyway.
That's job wise.
Yeah, that's just job
But
wise.
there's multiple ways of facing the South.
Yeah.
So you got to be aware of the social climate because this is just another strategy to make sure that they want to bury us under as much social turmoil as possible. So that when we try to climb up, there's several other things like no, we got to deal with this, and this, and you have to join our coalition.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking too, like how many of them would be homeowners for black people here?
Right.
How many of them would have their own businesses in their own neighborhood? Black people here.
And the thing about it is, they're going to be having their neighborhoods. They're going to be building their own neighborhoods. They're going to be working their own neighborhoods. They're not going to even have signs in English because they're not going to need outside money.
Yeah. So that's my thing. Like nobody questioning his long-term plan because you're not doing all that to turn them back home. Because if that was the case, you just turn them back home.
Right. You
keep it in there for a reason. And then mind you, and then you also remember a high percentage of them are minors without their parents.
Right.
And you still keeping them here.
You know what I mean?
Because from my understanding, with the article I read, they said doing 4-5's term that they would get them and they'll fly them back home, to their home country. So they're not doing that now. So I don't know what the plan is, and even that costs money. Exactly. They even go that much because like I said, other countries. I see other countries. You see their borders, bro. They cut you off. Hell, they even have guns there to turn you around with a gun. Like, yo, you cannot cross over here.
Right.
Like so. I mean, so you trying to be Mr. Nice Guy, but at what cost?
And the thing about it, and to bring up the money again, because like when 45 was using money to send them back. Why you're seeing that they're using the money to bring them in. To make them comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make them comfortable. They got juice and snacks, and then on top of it, the whole thing with the processing.
Oh, found other information right here. The necessary services.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, the hotel sites set to open in April will offer the C-thing testing, medical care, food services, social workers. Wow. And case managers to help with travel and onward destinations, according to two sources. So
I'm
getting a lot.
Wait. Social workers and case managers to help them with travel and onward destinations. Which onward destinations are they going to?
That don't sound like going back home, buddy.
Because it doesn't sound like. I mean, they're not booking them a hotel back at their mama house. That doesn't sound like that.
Sound like you plan on keeping them here.
Onward destinations.
Sound like keeping them here for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, but no question. And then and nobody still haven't seen the inside of the facilities because they've been refusing that too.
Right. Let's read the rest of that. According to
the two anonymous sources, and the staff will be trained to work with children. So that tell me once again they confirm there's a lot of minors there.
Right.
It remained unclear whether if migrants will be required to wear ankle bracelets or be subject to any form of monitoring. The people said we're required to wear ankle bracelets. We'll I don't see that. That's expensive.
Yeah, slick.
You imagine put ankle bracelets on like thousands of migrants.
Man, and I mean
that's a lot.
I feel like here's the thing. I feel like they put that out in the article probably to give some people an inkling of ease. Like, okay, well at least they're gonna be monitoring them so that they're not gonna. Go off and buy an apartment down the street. You know what I mean? So if they go buy an apartment, they know, they're there.
Yeah, you make a good point. The Democrats need their votes. Yeah, right. So
it's like,
so you just setting up for the next election. You getting your numbers up.
Right. Yeah.
The families will arrive at Border Patrol stations and then be sent to hotel sites to continue immigration paperwork.
Continue immigration paperwork. So they'll arrive at the Border Patrol stations and then be
keeping them here.
Not be sent back home, but be sent to be sent to hotel sites to continue immigration paperwork. So that sounds like they're just getting a free pass.
They're about to become citizens.
Where's the background check? So they're coming to the country, and Border Patrol, instead of actually patrolling the border and saying go back,
come on in, guys.
They're saying, hey, look, we got a hotel for y'all.
We
got a hotel for y'all here. You know what I mean? I hope you guys like Snickers and fresh baked eggs.
You got the mints on the pillows. Right. Free continental breakfast.
You know what I mean? They got assorted shampoos for these immigrants.
They can leave the reception centers as early as 6 hours after arrival if paperwork is completed. It tests negative for the C thing, and transportation has been arranged.
So transportation, whole transport. You know, transportation. Like for instance, living in Atlanta, even if it's a bus.
Yeah.
Transportation is a serious thing.
That's another contract.
You know what I mean? Exactly. That's another contract. Who's transporting these people?
Yeah, that's another thing. And then it's like, but yet they say our border is not open. Said ICE.
Right.
You know, so they still be under the CDC, Public Health Authority. That's not right.
So it's still not open. Man.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look into Endeavors, but that's the name of the people that got the contract, and they based out of San Antonio. All I know. They based in San Antonio, and it's a nonprofit organization. I never heard of them before.
Yeah.
Before the article, but I ain't
it seems like they're getting a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Because nonprofits make a profit.
Of course.
So they're running it. They making some money all day long.
Nonprofits should be caught off the book profits.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to cover about Biden was the gun reform thing, because you had that mass killing that happened in Colorado. Yeah, and so you see here, they all against the AR-15 here. So they it's funny because like within hours of this horrific event, first thing they were pushing is like, we need gun control laws. And Joe's running on that premise during the election season,
right?
And we didn't want, but once again, our people didn't want to listen to it. Because he wanted to limit the types of guns, he wanted to limit the ammo, and then he wanted to tax you per gun, which is pretty high.
And that's so.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty extreme. And usually, part of your takeover, you de-arm your people.
That's what they did in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, and and we live in some crazy times now. So I don't care what you say. I think you need something to protect yourself.
Right.
If that's your choice. But they keep demonizing the gun and not the people who are committing these crimes, these sorts of crimes.
And that's the thing. You see where they allocate the resources, because instead of having addressing the mental illness crisis, you know what I mean? Instead
they even that raise your kids right.
Right. Both. You know what I mean?
Raise your kids right.
All these different societal issues that bring forth.
It's so funny, man, because
these shooters. Because you take away the guns, you might have a mass stabbing.
I just thought it's so interesting how I work in retail for years. What I mean? So I see a lot of these white people and their kids, and they never want to discipline their kids, but they quit to discipline us in the streets.
Oh,
they quit to beat you in the street. They quit to murder you, beat you, report you, but they call the little kid. So you got to think about it, man. And that little kid never got disciplined or been told no.
Right.
I remember it been a few times we work in retail. When I was young.
Yeah.
And a white parent would tell me, like, well, can you tell my son he can't do this? Like, no, you tell him that, because they had the balls enough to tell them no.
You gotta be kidding.
So they experienced that at the age 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
By the time they turn 18, 19, 20, 21, you start having these. You kind of set the foundation for those things to happen.
Right.
I mean, that's the mindset, because they used to get they do feel entitled.
Right.
Because you raise them that way.
Right.
It seemed like all of a sudden the mass shooting starting up again. Yes. B1, glad you're here. Shalom. Yeah, right. Because last year, you had no mass shootings.
Right.
You had no terrorist attacks. Everything was kind of quiet.
And it's
the timing. Yeah, the timing very interesting about that. Yeah, he pushed his agenda out because, like I said, you already had the gun control bill that you already pushed last year. So he'd already been working on that. I forgot to bring up the other bill they're trying to push about the hate crime bill.
Right.
Because the whole thing that happened in Atlanta with the killing, which we discussed on the last show, that it wasn't a hate crime against Asians. That was a hate crime against sex workers.
Man, so ain't that interesting how they got a whole hate crime bill for the Asians? But what I want to say, because I don't want to throw out that this whole thing is staged, but they sure know how to use a crisis.
Interesting timing. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, they sure know how to use a crisis to their advantage.
Yeah, I don't know what's staged and what's not. I don't know any of that, but I just know it's interesting timing. Every month, like I said, it's a new distraction, and they pushing something different and nothing to do with black people.
Right.
And they try to do something with black people. We still had nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So so into the main thing I got y'all here.
Let's get into the meat.
the meat of it, man. This good old Roland Martin.
And Roland Martin, he got a lot of meat. He built like a potato.
It's just amazing to me how but one thing about Roland, he do represent a lot of the black people here right now. Like they more pro-Democrat than pro-black.
They instead of B1, they D1.
They right, exactly, and that's the foundation of the problem.
Right.
But he never said he'd B1 though. He never said that.
Oh, definitely not.
And I know,
he actually said the opposite.
Right, and I know he had like the Black Authority, Tariq Nasheed, like a lot of people mention that over and over again, and like so most of y'all know, but I had to I had to bring the receipts. I had to find the footage.
Right.
So this I guess that's to be let's start off there where he stands at.
Right, as far as his blackness.
Yes, his blackness, and we can kind of go into it from there.
Right.
So I did save it. There we go. All right, and we can get this. Hold up. Bring it over here so I can show y'all this real quick. Sorry, I already had it queued up. We've just been trying to get our stuff together.
Oh yeah,
it's been one of them days. And make sure y'all can hear the audio on y'all end. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I got you. So this interview is from 2016, and that he did with Richard Spencer. Mm-hmm. And we discussed it here on the show a couple of times in the past. He needs to take our colors off. It's a fraud.
I mean, that's because all of a sudden you see him wearing dashikis and dressing up in garbs and all this African wear.
If you were
suits.
Yeah.
Stick to your suits.
Right.
Rep your black bootleg colors.
Right.
If you're Alpha Kappa,
Data, yeah. He
rep those colors.
Yeah. He hardcore Alpha.
Well, we're each one of them.
All right. So I found the clip. It's hard to find from 2016. He interviewed a white supremacist named Richard Spencer.
Yeah.
That interview was, it was a mess, but I pulled the meat that we needed to hear. So
he two white supremacists, Roland Martin and the actual white dude.
Yeah, basically that's basically what it is.
Identity. Yeah, race is a foundation of that identity, undoubtedly.
Now race is simply a creation of mankind. That's a construct. It doesn't exist. Bottom line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify as a black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
We run that back.
I identify as a man.
That's a construct. It doesn't exist. Bottom line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify as a black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
Like,
and I mean, he is
adamant about that.
Right.
He said straight up.
Drilling that point in.
And a lot of people a lot of the black people that follow him and respect him, they don't know this interview. Cause when I find the video and I went through the comments, it went over black people's heads. Like they didn't acknowledge that part. They didn't acknowledge the rest of the interview. Than him going in on Spencer.
But they might have the same mindset though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you'll have certain black folk. You know what I mean? Especially these certain black bootleg or certain black coon channels where they'll say that
Oreo cookie.
Yeah, that's what he is. First off, I'm an Oreo cookie. I'm the white in the middle. But you'll have these black folk that they will say, I'm American first. And,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're right. Come on,
like,
bro.
what does American mean? Because aren't you both simultaneously?
Yes.
So you already know what American means to them.
Right. Yeah. It's funny because he said that in the interview about the American thing.
Let's get into it then.
But I didn't record that part, but I recorded the part about him being a Christian. Watch how he spins it over to Christianity.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay.
Identify as a man. No, actually, it's not sexist because if one person is a woman, identifies as a woman. Okay. So I'm a man.
Well, that ought to let you know he believes in the far left agenda.
Right.
Christian. Are you a Christian?
I'm a cultural Christian, yeah.
What the hell is that?
Well, many of us struggle with faith, but I'm part of a Christian.
Hold on. You can't call yourself a cultural Christian and then say I struggle with faith.
It's interesting because he's trying to bond with him on the fact they're both Christian.
Yeah. And he did this a few times throughout the interview. He hasn't said it straight up. He's like, I'm trying to. He's like common ground. Like, so he was.
Listen. You profess Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior?
No, I have in my life. I don't. I mean, look. Is this an imposition on me?
No. Actually, it's an interview. But see, when somebody tells me they are Christian, and
I'm culturally Christian.
What is culturally Christian?
I grew up in a Christian background. I resonate with Christianity and so on.
Okay, I'm gonna ask again. Have you professed with your mouth that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior?
See, now he trying to he flipping the script now off him not being black. Now he's trying to put the pressure back on him now
with the whole Christian thing, because he's like, here's my authority.
Yeah, but
or here's where he feels not authority but common ground.
Yeah, and yes, Richard Spencer is a white supremacist. But I did find his answer to this question to be interesting, though. There you go.
I have in my life, yes.
Okay, so that means that you're a Christian. So how is it that with what you espouse, how do you find that to be compatible with Christian ideals?
Most Christians throughout world history agreed with me that identity matters and that race is real and that they're part of an extended family.
I thought that was an interesting answer.
Right.
Because in today's church, they believe in a whole all-inclusive. And all this stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter his race. It doesn't matter about identity. So I thought that was very interesting that he said that.
But I mean, even when you go back into back in the days of slavery,
because race does matter.
Yeah, it does, and they will profess it when it's convenient. Because I mean, you look at the days of slavery, a lot of these Christians, of which the Ku Klux Klan and all these different people came from, they professed one justification that they would say about slavery was the curse of Ham.
Yeah,
the curse of
the
Ham.
Mormons remember that hard.
Man, but all Christians used to do this.
Yeah,
all Christians used to use that to justify slavery.
Facts.
So you see how they'll use it. The identity to them is important.
It's funny because he mentions that.
Right.
Well, it's only this tiny slice of world history, like post 1965, that everyone thinks that Christianity is incompatible with identity.
Well,
I give him points with his due.
Right.
Well, actually, if you use world history, there were people who actually used Christianity to justify slavery and the enslavement of people who look like me.
Which is also true.
And so
why are you a Christian?
Slaving people who look like me, but he ain't black.
Look at the response.
Right.
Why am I a Christian? Because those people actually were false Christians. Those people were fake Christians. Those people probably were cultural Christians, where they somehow allowed culture to inform their faith as opposed to their faith informing their culture. But actually, I go back to the question I asked.
For most of Christian history, there was feudalism, there was serfdom, there was slavery, there was identity, there was nationalism. And those, are all of these people unchristian, but you are Christian?
No. Those are people who actually who chose to pimp the Bible as opposed to actually believe in exactly what Jesus Christ talked about.
All of Christians throughout world history were pimps.
No.
You are a true Christian.
No. What I'm saying is this here: as a Christian, I believe in the Word, as opposed to this false nonsense that most of those folks were. But they were all.
Hold on, I can play that again. Hold on, I can play it again. Like he sounds just like Tariq and she be going in on him like.
He'll sound completely normal. He'll be like, I believe in him. I'm like,
as opposed to this false nonsense that most of those folks were. But they were also fake Christians because they used the word to actually enslave people.
But it's funny, he totally bypassed whole nationalism because you're a nation.
Right.
Oh man, that was hilarious, man.
But something interesting is when he brings up the whole thing about first off, I'm a man, and this and the third, and saying how race is a social construct. Now let me ask you: isn't being an American and nationalism a social construct? Isn't that even more of a construct? Because at least race is in your DNA.
Right.
Is being American in your DNA?
Yeah.
Or is that a construct?
Like, which one is it?
Right.
Like, you just picking and choosing.
Hey, people like to pick and choose what's a construct and what's not.
Yeah. So we had to set we had to set it up. So now you see where Roland stands, and now we see where he stands. His responses make sense because that's where he stands. I think he threw a lot of people off because they didn't know where he stood. But that's where he's at. Richard doesn't practice Christianity. He's just there in the background of his life, and he's like one of the seasoned Christians who show up in the church on the major holidays. Actually, he said that. Yeah. He said in the interview, cause you saw how Roland was trying to pimp on him, and he was like, he like at one point I did profess it, but it's not really my thing. So I kind of see. I think he worded it wrong, but I think that he was basically trying to say that. You know? All of a sudden he became Donald Duck.
I think a better character would be Porky Pig.
Yeah, Porky Pig all the way.
Porky Pig, man.
So so that's where he stands at. Now the young guy, That he interviewed recently. I think it was yesterday.
King Randall.
King Randall. So this come off his YouTube. It's a short 2-minute clip. What he's about, and then from there we can go into the interview because now then everything kind of makes sense.
Right.
All right. So go in there.
Are you gonna play the video?
Yeah, it gets smaller.
Okay, cool.
We're not doing NPR.
Let us make man. This is the scripture where God was talking about creating the human. And when he talked about creating the human, he said, let us make man. And for me, the us in let us make man entails and implies to me that I should be assisting God with making men. And this is where the X for Boys comes into play. This is the new man-making machine in Albany, Georgia. We started the X for Boys program in January of 2019. Albany, Georgia is one of the poorest cities in the nation, and also Albany, Georgia has one of the highest crime rates in the nation. And so I took it upon myself to curb that by working with young men and boys in the community and teaching them how to work in the skilled trades such as working on cars, fixing houses, simple home improvement, simple brake repair, oil changes, plumbing, anything of that nature to try and help boys actually use their hands.
I appreciate King Randall for taking the time out of his life to give us young men the opportunity to do things that can help us be better men and better people in life.
The X for Boys is creating men that'll be self-sufficient, that will be able to protect their women and children, and will be able to go out and earn things for themselves. We do not teach victimhood. There is nobody holding us down. I am teaching the boys that they can go out and get whatever it is that they want when they want it to. They have the same Father as Jesus, and that is God. And so they are able to go and do whatever they want to. The scripture says, greater is the God that is in me than the God that's in the world. So it's up to us to teach them about the God that's in themselves and to create everything that they want. Let us make man. Follow us on social media.
I just thought that was, man.
And you see how he's promoting, building up the community, building up the youth. Because, man, people wonder why the black youth, especially black men, are so torn up. Mm-hmm. But there's nobody going out being a role model, teaching them how to. He's
young. I mean, like he's 20, 21 years old.
Right.
Like he get into it. Like he being proactive.
Exactly.
Like how you hate on this dude? What he trying to do? Right. Like even he's young and he just started out. He learned as he go. But the fact that he took that step and getting at it.
Right.
Right. Yo, you're welcome. Yeah. Shout out to the mob with the links.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But how do you know the heavy Christian ministries are over in the Caribbean and Africa? Oh my goodness, that's just a mess. Yeah.
But you know.
Well, you know, you already know, like
they always have to profess their that's the main thing when it comes to colonization.
Right. Yeah. Before you invade, you send missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
There's always missionaries before the invasion.
And the thing about it, the missionaries, of course, are going to spread their gospel, but they're also kind of like spies, really.
That's the way spying out the land.
Exactly.
And then getting the people prepared for having a white leader.
Right.
You know. Yeah, that's basically what it is. But yeah, man. So it's like, so this is what he's about. All right. So this is the guy that interview because I saw blowing up on Twitter and stuff. I ain't understand like, okay, who is this guy? What's the problem? And you know, I watched the interview first, and then went back to see what he did because I enjoyed watching him in an interview. Like I ain't handle Roland. So you know, we're not going through the whole interview. The interview is 30 minutes long. We're just gonna go the first 5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Whatnot because yeah, it's interesting how you handled that. We're gonna pull that up. Yeah, right here.
There we go.
Yeah, and then we got our little image of we're not gonna show the video. We're gonna just show the image.
Yeah. They see we're snatched off.
Oh man!
And we don't. The last thing we need is a Yoshi channel. You know
being blocked too.
Because we're gonna have to have 3, 4, 5 channels.
Oh my gosh! Like yo, the shadow ban is real on the Black Channel. So like right after this broadcast, we will be putting the video up on our regular channel, Black Narrative. But I'm glad. But since you're here live with us on the Yoshi Vibe channel, just go ahead and subscribe because we're gonna be here for a while live because there's supposed to be strictly our music channel. But we had to use it to go live until we get unbanned for our regular channel coming up. But you know, it's all good. We still gonna make it do what it do. The green eye. Oh, a lot of people were killed behind Christianity. Yeah. Facts.
Look at the modern world.
Yep.
The modern world is literally the way it is because of these conflicts within Christianity.
Facts. All right. So we're gonna go into this.
Bring the
here.
Funk fan club. Please explain to me why this bill, why Republicans are pushing for a voter suppression bill when last year we saw record turnout in Georgia. Record turnout. So why would they want to restrict voting when you just had record turnout in Georgia?
You want to take the,
well, let me start off by saying you had me mistaken. I'm not a Republican. I do consider myself conservative.
No.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Hold up. Sorry. Give me a second here. Get myself organized. Like that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Got you. All right. And then I can just go back over here. And we'll rewind for a few seconds.
Record turnout in Georgia. Record turnout. So why would they want to restrict voting when you just had record turnout in Georgia?
Well, let me start off by saying you had me mistaken. I'm not a Republican. I do consider myself conservative.
No. Actually, I didn't say Republican.
And it's interesting because you automatically have conservative ideals. You see how he's already trying to throw them into a box.
Yep.
Because you throw them in a box, you already know how to.
Yeah, you already know points, it's all technique.
Yeah, because when it comes to talking points, the way it works is you have a group of people, and you know that, okay, well, for this specific group of people, I'm gonna use this box. I'm using this box, and I'm gonna attack them using the restraints of that box.
And usually the conservative box, if you say you're conservative, they'll automatically mark you as a Trump supporter.
Right.
And he just said it here, like, yo, I never said I was a Republican.
Right.
And technically, for this country to be so-called Christian, we're supposed to have like conservative views anyway. Most of us are raised to be conservative, have conservative type of views.
Right.
Leave a boy, a girl, a girl. We didn't get into all the whole gender confusion thing.
But you see, Roland Martin was trying to get on the white boy so much about Christianity.
Right.
But when it comes to getting a seat at the table, boy, Roland Martin will throw that Bible so far out the window.
But you said it though. You said he D1, not B1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called it.
Right.
I said you're conservative.
Okay.
I said you're conservative.
Right, absolutely.
That's what I said.
Right. Yeah, I was
Just
saying that because you called me a Republican on Twitter. However, with this particular bill, I don't consider voting my particular fight. I do consider voting an asset to us and maybe something we can use as a tactic to help. But as far as us pushing voting all the way out, like voting is going to be some systemic change for the black community, to me is not the way to go. Mm-hmm. If you look at the human anatomy of the body has its many different parts. And I do respect you guys' fight, in regards to voting, but I don't consider myself fighting for the right to vote that much. Because
do you not vote?
We hadn't got anything.
Do you not vote?
Government. Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay, so when you say you guys' fight, first of all, there are multiple fights, there are multiple issues we can be concerned about. Voting is one of those issues. Are you not concerned that Republicans in your state are trying to restrict access to the ballot for no reason other than they are pushing the lie that Donald Trump also pushed?
Right, absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying. However, again, that's not my fight. I believe.
No. I know. I asked you a question.
It's so funny. He's trying to put the dude in the box, and he's like, "Yo, I see what you're saying. I just don't care. It's not what I'm dealing with right now."
Because he's concerned about other stuff. He's concerned about actually building up the members of his community instead of trying to run to Uncle Sam. Oh, please, Uncle Sam, will you please give me, may I have some porridge?
Yeah.
He's not concerned about getting some porridge from Uncle Sam at the ballot box.
He's like, I already make my own porridge.
Exactly.
And be done with it.
Exactly.
The question is this here. Do you believe Republicans in your state are wrong to be pushing this voter suppression bill?
Can you give me the list of things that's all on the bill? Because I know you said the voter ID.
Well, no. Here's a perfect example. This particular bill right here gets rid of no excuse absentee balloting. Republicans in Georgia passed no excuse absentee balloting 15 years ago, thinking it was going to help them. They're angry because you had people who voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and also John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won. So they're changing the law because they're angry they lost at the ballot box. But for 14 years, it was fine until last year. Is that, again, do you consider that to be egregious on the part of Georgia Republicans? Why would they change the law because they lost? How about making a better argument for the voters?
I agree with you.
I agree.
Right. And the funny thing about it,
he kept trying to put him in the Republican box.
The problem is Roland is trying so hard to get this young man.
You got a weak case, and that's all you got. You're going to try to run with it.
He's trying to get the young man to talk on an issue that doesn't concern him. He's like, okay, that's fine. I know this. Okay, that's messed up.
It is messed up.
What does that got to do with me? What am I going to do about it? Vote harder? Because at the end of the day,
that's all they keep telling us to do.
Bro, what is Roland Martin going to say? What is Roland Martin going to say the solution is? Because he's not going to say nothing radical.
Nah.
He's not going to say nothing against these white folk at the end of the day.
He's still trying to get a job at the White House.
You're right. Republicans, he'll say something against them because that's an easy jabbing point. But he ain't going to say nothing against white folk. He's just going to say, you need to fight harder for the right to vote.
Yeah, right.
And how you gonna fight? You
still not get anything. Still not get any tangibles.
Right. You gonna talk to George Soros. Have some picket signs, and then you're gonna go to the battle box.
Hijack some more movements.
Exactly, and then vote harder.
I do. I agree with you. I'm not against you there. I definitely think that is an issue that I believe you guys could fight. But that again, voting is not my issue to fight. I believe.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization.
That was all about, bro. Take care of your own.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, bro.
And how could Roland have a problem with that? How are you having a problem with this young man trying to help the dudes in his community get them off the street so that there's no more bloodshed? There's no more licks. There's no more. There's less drugs.
And you think like he should be off the hook, but nah. Now Roland was pissed about that
because he ain't voting, because he ain't running to the white man. The problem with what this young man is doing is he's not having to call Uncle Sam
and begging.
Right.
This will be told no.
Come on, man.
I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be all end all.
No one says the be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just going to change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own community.
So define do for self.
Define do for self. It says the man that promotes nothing but voting. How is the man
this young guy's been
running to the ballot?
He's been number of facts on this dude.
Yo, how is the man that's going to promote nothing but going to the ballot box going to talk about what does do for self mean?
He's reaching.
That's
he's in the corner.
That's what's really boggling my mind.
He's in the corner, man. Well, had no argument, and you just evil, basically.
He's trying to get to the point. You're asking this man about. He's not even genuinely asking the man about his doctrine.
Nope.
He's just trying to make an ass.
There's no love there.
Right.
There's no love there.
Come on, man.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours. But you shared one of my tweets. When I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities, you shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
what's the problem with that?
Yo, this man is trying, like for him to be 21 and doing all that already.
Bro, he just turned 21.
Right.
Getting it.
Man, but here's another thing too. Roland might be upset because Roland would not go out of his way to do none of that because he wants a seat at the table.
That's it.
He wants a seat at the table. Matter of fact, he wants to be right in Joe Biden's lap.
Because he's a man first.
Right. Because he's a man first. He's a man first. So give me that seat in Joe Biden's lap.
Yeah. And he's too old for Joe because Joe like him young.
Right. Right.
And I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're going to go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's going to change in our community.
So you went to,
That's the epitome of a B1 mindset.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, this one phrase, this one line from Vince Staples, man. When Vince Staples said in the song Lift Me Up, when he said the presidents that changed the hood are dead and green.
Yeah, you're right. He voided the whole thing, called him an idiot. He didn't apologize for anything. He deflected. Like he said, the master of deflecting.
You went to the juvenile court system. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say purchased a school, and this school is going to be what? Private school, charter school? What kind of school is it going to be?
No, it will be independently owned. This will not be funded by the government.
No, that's why I asked you. So it's going to be a private school?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a boarding school.
A boarding school. And then for the folks to be able to afford to send their kids to the boarding school, what kind of mechanisms are they?
You see how he's trying to break down what this man's trying to do?
Yeah.
He's trying to put it in this in his head that what you're doing.
You need a white man to help you with this.
You need to call up Uncle Sam.
Yes. You need to vote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's you're trying to break down what this man, the good he's doing for his community. You're trying to break it down to say, oh no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't do that because you can't do that.
Right.
Are they using in Georgia? Their own funds? Are they using school vouchers? What are they using?
I can't hear you. Say that again for me.
I said, what mechanism are they using to send their kids there to pay for the school? Their own money, or are they utilizing vouchers from the Georgia government?
Absolutely. So for our school, we're financed completely by donors. We have many donors that have given yearly endowments to our school that will be able to pay for these students to come to our school for free. Many people believe in our mission, and we're making sure that young black men, where we live, where we don't have any rehab programs for juvenile offenders to even get out of jail and stay out of jail, we have people that believe in our mission that are trying to send children to the Expo Boys for free. We have many people that are trying to send kids to this boarding school to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I mean by doing for self. We got to simply get up and do it.
And you see how he said it's donors giving out these resources in order to help these young juveniles because they're not going to help rehabilitate them. But yet they got $86 million to dish out to rehabilitate the illegal immigrants at the border.
Put them in a hotel room, giving them, vaccinating them, and giving them caseworkers, paperwork, lawyers.
Most importantly, they got the therapists. They got people who are there to help them through their problems and to get them adjusted so that they could.
And then they gonna put them in. And they gonna put them in a home somewhere.
Exactly, so that they could excel in this society. But you see, when it comes to us, we got to do for ourselves.
They got so many more tangibles, and they couldn't even vote.
Man, but Roland Martin, he's one of them. He just puts vote, and when you get tired, you go to the polls again. But then when anybody else has an idea of how we can help our people, how we could advance ourselves, how we could try to cut that line with Uncle Sam and them, then things become impossible.
Man, I keep telling our black people, man, you can't vote yourself out of oppression.
How are you gonna vote yourself out of?
You can't vote yourself out of oppression. You can only get your freedom back the same way they took it.
Right.
And it's gonna be a day where we're gonna realize that, because it's not gonna be any other way of getting that freedom back.
Right.
It's just get the same way they took it, and it's not gonna be peaceful.
Exactly.
You know, now it's gonna be in our lifetime. The next, I don't know when this is gonna happen. I'm not sitting here waiting by the door, but I just know we know the things that's been prophesied that's in place. Right. You know how it goes.
So you don't believe that government policymakers play any role whatsoever in being able to impact the lives of black boys and others in Georgia?
Pause right fast. What role? A role negatively, maybe. Why would they? The U.S. is here's the thing: the South has a lot of blacks, but it's still majority white. So they're going to help the majority. They're going to focus,
by default.
Exactly. They're going to focus on the majority by default.
And then they're the ones in power.
Right. Wait, hold on. Are we showing the picture?
No. I just switched back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why would they be going out of their way to help the local government?
Yeah, right.
I mean, not to help the local citizens, especially the young black boys.
Yeah, you can't. I know Omar Johnson said you can't empower the people you're trying to oppress.
Exactly.
You know.
But Roland Martin, he believes Uncle Sam is gonna give him the best bowl of porridge. You know what I mean, with sprinkles on top.
Yeah, he said no such thing as a peaceful revolution. Right. What he's not being black. People to build a school and not schooling people, why they not donating, and he doesn't have 6th degree. Right. You still want them to go through the system, and that's the thing. And what King Randall is doing is very similar to what Umar Johnson wanted to do.
Right.
And now Umar Johnson did have a good. I like the way he had a good curriculum. As far as plan wise, like where he wanted to teach the black boys. But King Randall avoided the biggest mistake that Umar made. Umar aimed way too big. Umar Johnson was trying to buy a whole damn college campus, and you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
This young guy got a small building, got a bus, building from there.
Exactly.
Cause you gotta think about it, man. Cause we both planners. We plan stuff down to the T.
Right.
But and you might go over that plan 1,000 times before we execute it. But by the time we execute it, we still gonna miss something, and we gotta make adjustments.
Always going to be something.
It's gonna be something that we cannot see until we do it.
Right.
But at least when you do it while you're small, it's easy to make those adjustments. Easy to make those adjustments, and it won't be as expensive.
Right.
Like compared to Umar, if he would have opened that big old school, and you make these a big school equal big mistakes.
And that's the thing about it. You start small, you can be more efficient.
More efficient, and you can tweak it up.
Right.
Get everything in order.
And then you find people who are reliable, and then you can start getting bigger once you have more resources. But that's the problem, is aiming too big. But this young man, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I say, and stuff he's not doing, he humble enough to learn it and figure it out.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, it's funny. You go back to what we were talking about the love for the people.
Right.
He's doing it for his people.
Exactly.
Like it's like a common theme he been coming across. He's doing this for his people. He want to make his own change himself, and not rely on anybody else.
Exactly.
And we should be thinking like that, and we don't.
Right.
We get so mad every 4 years who's in the office and what they're doing, what they're not doing.
Right.
Instead of taking it upon ourselves.
Exactly.
But I'm glad
ourselves responsible.
Man, I don't know who raised this dude. I don't know his parents. They did an awesome job.
They did.
Had that mindset at that age, and we don't see enough people like him. Because I know other people like him out there, but too often, we showcase young black men.
Right.
We like this.
Yeah.
Or we doing some wild-ish.
Right. Running up in folks' homes and this, that, and the third.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he said, and then another thing Kim Randall said, and in an interview, he's saying, the school's not teaching them what they need to survive.
Exactly.
Like in the video.
The school system is teaching them how to be workers.
That's it.
How to be subservient. How to make Uncle Sam's tea. You know what I mean? That's what they want to teach you in the schools.
Yeah, and you already saw the video. He's like, car maintenance, building a house, and just being self-sufficient, take care of protecting your family. I know Umar Johnson. I remember, and I say this is an interview from years ago, but I mean he was saying he wanted his student's first assignment to be to sew their own uniform.
Right.
I thought that was dope.
That's amazing.
And he said by the time they graduate, they'll know how to sew, they know how to grow crops, they know how to they understand the stock market, they know how to start a business, and know how to shoot a gun.
Right.
Things that we need in the society,
man,
on a day-to-day basis. And the thing about it, man, he made some. And like I say, man, Umar made some big mistakes along the way.
Right.
And I think we were too focused on his mistakes and not on the fact that we don't have a school like that.
And
why don't we have schools like that?
And here's the thing about it, King Randall probably saw what Umar did and learned from his mistakes.
Yeah, he had to go through it himself.
Right.
Like the government don't want another Black Wall Street to ride. You're absolutely right.
They definitely don't. They don't want blacks to be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
because you see why they have their shills out there like Roland Martin to stir up the black community into almost like a hysteria of thinking that we cannot do anything without the white man. The white man has to be accompany us. He has to be there holding our hand, because we're scared.
And we've been doing it multiple times without them, but every time we did it, they destroyed it.
Right.
Another thing commendable about King on here, he said he started in 2019.
Yeah.
The world was shut down last year.
Exactly.
So instead of, because a lot of people, I always said 2020 has shown proof for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, you know, I would did this and this ahead of time. Well, you had time last year.
Right.
You was in quarantine. That was the time you could have been sitting at home working on your plan, something you really wanted to do.
Right.
And so I'm pretty sure he spent a lot of time last year to get things in order.
Right.
And you see 2021 hit, he hit the ground running.
Exactly.
Ready to go.
Right.
I seen a lot of people they just so busy want to go back to normal. But
they were miserable when everything was normal.
Yeah. Yeah, same old stuff, same habits, same patterns, same everything.
Right.
You know, they hadn't accomplished anything. This dude had a whole vision already. Like I said, he just turned 21.
Right.
Like, man, like older people shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like he said, he got tired of waiting on anybody else. He got tired of politicians. Like, hell, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
You know, and he said him and the teenagers get their money together and got that stuff done.
Man, that's just
That's something you gotta do. You gotta do yourself because you keep going asking for it or begging for it, ain't gonna happen.
right.
And so he took action.
And then when you take action, you got people like Roland Martin that are gonna take offense because
And he'll try to break that down.
right.
How you gonna break that down?
It's actual positive for the community. And then guess what? When these same kids are selling drugs, when these same kids are running up in homes and jacking cars and doing all kinds of crazy mess,
now you're right.
y'all gonna be running.
Right.
Oh, you see?
Yeah.
You see?
They ain't doing nothing, you know. Yeah, now there's a problem.
Right. They want to bring up idle hands.
Yeah,
They want to bring up idle hands when all of a sudden the kids
That's
are
so
doing crime.
That's
but
so
then
true.
when y'all try to do something good for them,
yeah.
let me ask: if it was a bunch of white kids doing this,
Roland would be committed. At no point, I mean, this is a 30-minute interview. At no point did he congratulate him or commend him on doing what he was doing.
he was just trying to break the young man down.
Whole time.
If it was a 21-year-old white boy,
Oh, man.
you know, I wanted to have a community out in Connecticut and
Oh,
just have
boy.
a bunch of young white
He
men.
would have photoshopped some extra lighting around him and had a glow about him.
He would have had a halo behind him. Roland Martin probably would have threw some wings on him. Probably would have threw some wings and a white robe on it. Roland Martin would let him use one of his white garbs.
Yeah.
Just dress him up like an angel.
With the lace.
Right, with the lace.
With the matching lace.
Right.
That's funny, man.
We take them out of that government system, we don't have to worry about that. I keep saying
How is that? So hold on. See, here's the question. Hold up. Here's the question. How do you remove someone out of a government system when we all live in government systems?
What does that mean?
Okay, being literal, absolutely we all live in.
Yo, what does that even
He's fishing,
mean?
man. Like, he got nothing.
When I tell you grasping that straw,
Man.
I mean, this man, how are you going to get him out of a government system when we're all in the government system? There's different government systems.
He was so busy attacking the young man
juvenile-
instead of offering him a platform to promote what he's doing.
Bruh, you got to be, and here's the thing, he's throwing out a red herring. He's throwing out a point to get this young man off and have him come running behind that point.
But he's an ally of white supremacy, man. He's an agent.
At the end of the day, right.
Yeah.
He's a man.
Right, yeah, he's a man, right.
System, absolutely. However, you can do things to remove most government from your life.
How?
As far as trying to get yourself out of food stamps,
How?
trying to get yourself off of welfare. You got to go work. You got to get jobs. You got to get out here and go and do it.
So hold up. So I'm just curious. So if somebody doesn't have a job, are they not applying to government for unemployment benefits or insurance?
That's what he just said.
Absolutely.
So how can that person remove themselves out of government when that's what government provides?
Because it's like he's talking about full sovereignty. That's not the topic we're on. Man, but you see, he's just trying to throw anything
anything that sticks.
Right, man. He's just trying to, wow. But you see, these talking heads, you know what I mean? And Roland Martin is a big old potato-shaped talking head.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
No neck.
Right. So you got these talking heads that the goal is to debate.
That's it.
They just debate. It's nothing but a bunch of lip flapping and hot air blowing around the room.
That's it,
You know what I mean? He's the airbender with all the hot air, just running around the room. Because it's nothing but debate and strife.
That's it.
For what?
For what? At the end of the day, for what?
For what?
And that's why, like, props to King, man. He was just so cool with it. Like, bro, you can have that, bro. Like, I ain't trying to fight you.
Absolutely. Well, my thing is trying to make sure you're not allowing the government to finance your whole entire life. As long as you're giving somebody the right to feed you, you're giving them the right to starve you as well. People are living their whole lives off the government systems. It was the day the government decide, well, we gonna cut food stamps, we gonna cut this and cut that. What we gonna do?
Right.
We have people out here living off those systems. So I believe in teaching our people how to go survive without the government. That's my biggest thing.
But again, though, you keep saying. I'm trying to understand. You keep saying how to survive without the government. You act as if a young black boy who comes into your program will not interface with government in any way.
What is that?
They will interface with government.
He doesn't act like that.
No.
But you see, he's trying to push his own biases on this man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Government.
King Randall should have told him, "I'm here to talk about my work. If you don't want to be part of it later, and if you don't want to be part of it later," and walked off that interview.
Yeah, every right to do that.
He really did. But man, that it's one of those things where and I mean, I know I can't talk much because I'm young, but it's one of those things where, I mean, the dude, he's young.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where he has a platform, he's trying to utilize it.
And he being respectful the whole time.
Yeah.
He being respectful the whole time.
Right.
Thriving Black Mom. Roland should be ashamed. I wonder if his bootleg audience agree with his line of questioning.
They probably do.
Yeah. I was going through the comments and I couldn't really find his followers were actually kind of quiet on that video. I was looking for him. There's a lot of devils in that video. A little bit off topic, Thriving Black Mom. I think I saw you earlier on another YouTube channel today. Was it queennubian.com, I think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Cause you came across the screen. I'm like, at first I was just browsing around. I thought it was you, but it was your comment at the bottom. Anyways, but just let me know in the chat. Yeah, he is so wrong about unemployment. If you first have a job for the company to pay the unemployment insurance for you to claim it when you no longer have a job depending on why you was fired. Facts.
Right.
Facts.
And that's the funny thing about it. Right. That is true.
Facts.
Because he's talking about the government system. You're paying for your unemployment.
Yeah. Right. All day long. Go.
Still driving down the street. They will interface with government trying to get a driver's license. They will interface with government trying to get a voter ID. They will interface with government trying to apply for financial aid to go to college. Mm-hmm. So they're going to
Wait. Yeah, Fly Nubian Queen. Yep. So that was you. Okay.
Face with government in many ways. The point I'm saying is, doesn't it make sense that black folks should be engaged in a political process to where we are impacting policy that also impacts us? Or are you saying that doesn't?
Aren't you saying that you're supposed to vote harder?
So now he's trying to change his whole argument to you need government. So he's like, so now you can't.
You need to vote harder, and you need to. The white man has to be in your business.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you survive without the white man?
Right.
Why would you even think of surviving without the white man?
How dare you? The audacity.
Right.
Doesn't matter at all.
I only believe that we should breed politicians in our community that we raise ourselves.
Right.
People that are funded by white Democrats, white Republicans alike. If you were funded by anybody white, I don't believe you have the best interests of our community at all. I don't care who you are.
Malcolm X said the exact same thing.
Right.
What you were saying about the Fox?
Exactly.
Exactly. And then we just showed last week that UNCF just not having their first black president.
Man, ain't that interesting? But
NAACP took 50 years for they had a black president in charge.
But it's wild because Roland Martin, the way he's talking, cause the Democrats always trying to make it seem like they're on our side.
And they just as racist as the Republicans.
Right, because you see when we got when it's something pro-black, you see where they stand.
Yeah.
You see, Roland should be ashamed of that sweater. I don't know what's going on there. It's like a corrupt pastor in Uganda. You know what I mean? That's what it's reminiscent of.
I want to show y'all the comments real quick in this video. Sorry, I got these multiple screens going. Flex. Flex. All right. But yeah, so this is the link to the video. I've never seen his ratio like this.
So a lot more dislikes than usual?
Yeah. I mean, usually it's his people watching his channel.
The Black Bootlick.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We have the comments here. Hold up. Get some of this out the way. I got stuff blocking everything. Okay. And screen here. This is not our usual screen for YouTube. Yeah, so yeah, but there's a lot of people. It's B1 on his comments. Yeah, this guy Roland is full of S. You know? Roland Martin is a whole clown. This young man needs to be respected for his accomplishments.
Right.
Yeah, Roland has a lot of feminine energy. Real alpha men don't talk over each other.
Right.
Yeah. Don't forget he was the one shucking and jiving and dancing for Hillary like a clown. There's a lot of B1 in these comments.
Yeah.
More than usual in his videos.
But here's the thing. Sometimes with somebody with a personality like Roland, they'll expose themselves sooner or later.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's just showing where his allegiance lies. It doesn't lie with him. I mean, he's shown it many times before. Yeah. But this is a blatant example of how he's showing his allegiance. Not only does it not lie with the black community, it's actually opposed to the black community. Because how can you speak against what this young man is doing?
Sound like Roland want us to be a government dependent. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
King Randall is more of a man than Roland wish he could be. I'm tired of the old whip Democratic side chicks. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, I was like, I haven't seen that one comment from his people defending this interview. They very quiet. Yeah.
Boy,
I'll tell you on the videos.
They know not to talk.
Yo, we show you the difference. Oh, we show the difference between the video comments, man. You go to the one under, you go to the one about Richard Spencer. Is this the actual link? Yeah, this actual link. Bet. All right. So this is the video we played with Richard Spencer, right?
Yeah.
You see the ratio is a lot different here.
Yeah.
Right? And you tell us there's people in here, man.
Roland whipped his behind.
Yeah, so I can see the comment. I forgot about to get this other screen in the way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Roland whooped his behind. Oh my God, I'm surprised he didn't cry.
So proud. They
were proud of Roland in this video.
With pride of their little Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Boy, he's a prize-winning hog.
I love Roland.
Right.
This is only 4 months ago.
His name is Roland.
Wow,
okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, so a lot of support on this one.
Right.
I want to see none of these people in the other video, though.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that part was funny. In that interview, Richard Spencer did say the white people built the pyramids. He said those white people in Africa, they did all that.
It would have burnt up.
Yeah. Like,
boy, they would have been crispy.
Yeah, like the state of Israel and the high cases of skin cancer they have right now.
And that's the interesting thing is if it was a white folk that built the Egyptians, why is it that you got places like Australia, and especially Israel, where they got a high case of skin cancer? I mean, people would be falling out left, right, and center. if it was white folk building the pyramids.
Yep.
Come on, man.
So this one does video we was on. Got all these tabs going on.
Oh yeah.
All right, we go back to the interview real quick.
Oh yeah. Let's read some of these comments.
Facts, the mask will always slip off, and they'll fight tooth and nail to keep the mask up. Yes, you are right. The condescending look at the end when he told them where they can find you just really pissed me off. Yeah, actually, let's get to the end of this interview. I did want to play that part.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get to the last 4 minutes of this. Yeah, but you get a chance. Listen to the whole interview because not for Roland, but for King Randall because I like what you were saying.
Absolutely, and that's why I use the phrase we all have lanes, and that's why it's important, though, for us to recognize that although I might be in this lane, for me, I'm in the media lane, I understand, though, that there's a difference between me leading a fight in another lane and providing support to somebody else in another lane. Mm-hmm. What I'm not going to do is diminish the reality of that or say that's not important. So what I will do is I can sit here and use what I am doing to say, hey, I can amplify what somebody else is doing. But what I'm not going to do is say that's irrelevant to what's going on because the reality is.
So basically, what he's saying he's not going to do, he did.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so he did what he's not going to do.
Yeah,
and he's just upset because King Randall was telling him, "I'm not worried about this whole voting thing."
Yeah, I did all this without a vote.
Right.
Even in my case in media, I own this. It's an independent media, but guess what? The federal government spends $1 billion a year on media advertising. If we're getting shut out of those dollars, then we aren't able to grow, but other media institutions are. So I can never be of the position to say, hey, I want to remove myself from government, because the reality is this. When you're born, that birth certificate is a government document. When you get immunized, that's a government document. When you get married, first of all, that high school diploma is a government document.
What does that mean?
When you get married,
Absolutely.
that's a government document. When you get divorced, that's a government document. And when you die, your death certificate is a government document. And so my point is this: I want to make sure that we are involved in the voting process to ensure that we are electing people who have our best interest at heart and who are passing good policy to allow us to be able to do the things that you're talking about. But what I will never do is say, hey, I ain't sweating that, because that could actually make your job a hell of a lot harder. How can folks get in touch with your organization?
Absolutely. Well, my name is King Randall. You can follow me on all social media at New Emerging King on Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. And Mr. Roland, I definitely would love for us to stop with the Twitter back and forth battles. I'd actually like for you to come speak with my kids, or at least talk to them via Zoom. Because, like I said, I was a fan before, but I don't really care for the going back and forth on social media. So I would love for you to speak with the kids. And also Miss Erica Savage, one of your former hosts, she's a big fan of mine. And so I definitely love for you to come talk to my kids. Absolutely.
No, that's not a problem. And again, when I was in Albany, I was there 3 times helping Ossoff and Warnock trying to rally black folks there. So I had no.
Goes back to the voting.
Go right back to the voting.
Come talk to the kids. Well, I was there trying to rally and tap dance all over the streets of Albany.
You're right back to it, bro.
Right.
Being in Albany, got no problem speaking with the kids. And if I do, I'm definitely going to teach them about the power of voting and how to use it. So just let me know when you want to do that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You just let me know, and we'll do a back and forth offline.
All right, no problem. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
He was respectful the whole time, bro. He didn't have to be. This dude condescending, disrespectful towards King the whole time, man.
Right.
And yeah, like I said, don't love it. And at no point he congratulated him what he was doing.
Right.
He's like, big props looking out for the kids. Like, he ain't say anything like that.
I agree with you, Q. Don't let him tap dance on
I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
Because all he's going to do is, y'all need to get out there and vote. Uncle Sam's going to get you.
He already let it be known this whole interview he don't give a damn about the kids.
Right.
Because he already let it be known.
Because he's been trying to break it down. He doesn't even believe in the school.
Nah.
And so he's going to go to the kids. He's going to tell them that if you want a big old bowl of porridge with strawberries in it, you got to vote and go to Uncle Sam, and just Uncle Sam, he's going to provide for you. And maybe one day, you're going to get big and strong and be able to sit on Joe Biden's lap.
If he make it his full term.
Right. You know what I mean? Get a seat at his table.
If the wind don't whoop his butt.
Right. Boy, we got to watch that wind.
Yeah, man.
Whenever it's a windy day, they gotta be on high alert over at the White House.
Yeah.
They see Joe Biden end up flying away to Russia.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, that's all we have for y'all, man. Like, we kept it simple tonight, man. But I thought that was very important. That was a very important interview. Big up to King Randall. I'm definitely I'll start following him because I want to see him succeed.
Right.
And I like what he's doing, and that was all about because we both big believers in that and taking the initiative and getting things done. We done things in the past and we doing things now. We working on stuff now.
Right.
On the same mind. It's B1 mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not waiting on nobody.
And we're hoping to be able to manifest it and do more in the community like what brothers doing.
I really hope so because the stuff that we're doing, we're working on, man. I'm really excited. I can't wait till we push it out there. And like I said, the stuff that we've done in the past, because we did the same thing, man. Like the last big project, one of the last bigger projects towards the kids was the care packages.
Right.
And I'd love to do that again. And I think we can reach a lot more people when we do it again. And I know this fall all the campuses will be open. But there's so much more we're trying to do, and we need more people like King and more people that think like him. Because like, man, even know where to start or what to do, and just having a mindset first
of wanting to do it
and having love to do it.
Folks like Roland Martin, we got to get them and throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
Throw them in the trash. Let the recycling folk deal with them.
Yeah, so definitely, man. Anything else you want to add, man?
Stay vigilant, y'all.
All right, we'll catch y'all on Thursday night, man. Shalom. Have a good night.
Shalom. Good night.
My name is Black Ice.
And I'm Keith. And we're the Black Narrative.
We are a Black First and Hebrew Israelite channel on YouTube that broadcasts live every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every week, we discuss controversial issues and challenge false narratives that are fed to Black people through mass media. We share research through videos and encourage uncomfortable conversations amongst the Black community.
Our show features topics such as exposing fact checkers, the racist history of medical research, the origins of so-called Black Greek fraternity organizations, Christian origins of HBCUs, and much, much more.
Look up The Black Narrative on YouTube or go to our website, www.theblacknarrative.tv.
Shalom.